So even with the time change, we still get to rise together. And we are in our annual theme, Ubuntu, we rise together. And our theme for March is transformation. And so we started our transformation theme last Sunday with the message, No Ordinary Love. And I just want to remind you that transformation means going beyond form, going beyond form. Okay. So, as I shared last Sunday at our in-person service, we had a wonderful in-person service last Sunday, and we got to be with each other in the most powerful transformational energy, which is love. So we know that the transformational energy is no ordinary love. It is what we are grounded as and what we are created through. No ordinary love. No ordinary love created us, and we are the self-realization of divine love in form. We are formed from the formless. Yes? So the gift of no ordinary love is embedded within us to express in the world. And we're going to get into that today. Chris already set us up beautifully with her meditation. It is time to level up. So last week I was inspired by Sade with the song No Ordinary Love. And these last couple of days when I was preparing for the talk today, the song that kept coming up was, so some of y'all might know this song, some of you may not. Sierra has a song called Level Up. Anyone know that song? Nobody knows that song. Okay, so I'm just going to do this real quick. I was going to play the song, but it's not 100% appropriate for service. I can't even show you the video. But I'm going to share like a snippet of the beginning of the song so that you can get the energy, because this is the energy that we're going to flow in today.
4, 3, 2, 1. Level up, 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 level up.
That's all y'all get. Because the rest goes, it's about yumminess and tumminess, and she be going in, right? And I could go there, but my mama might be watching this. So that's where we're going today. That energy right there. Can y'all hold on to that energy? Level up, level up, level up. All right. That's where we're going, right? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's where we're going. We're going to level up, level up, level up, level up, level up. All right? So in essence, what she's singing about is living in your zone of genius. So those of you who are in the book study, The Big Leap, know what I'm talking about, right? The Big Leap. And those of you who are not, Chris's meditation gave you a sense of that. It's time to level up, to take that big jump into your dreams. The Dream Giver by Bruce Wilkinson. So I started sharing with you all his journey. And we're going to pick up from where we left off. But just to bring you in a summary, in case you missed last Sunday, The Dream Giver is a story about a person, a boy, a young person named Ordinary, who lives in the land of familiar. Ordinary lives in the land of familiar with a whole bunch of other nobodies doing the same thing day in and day out. And one day he has a dream. And when he wakes up from this dream, he also has a white feather. And he remembers that he was here for a specific purpose, like all of us, right? And he remembered that he had a gift that the dream giver gave him. And so he's wondering now, what am I to do about this, right? And so he decides that he is going to leave the land of familiar, which is the most uncomfortable thing for him to do, because the land of familiar is his comfort zone. Anyone have a comfort zone? Yes, right? So he decided that, okay, in order for me to live my dream, I must leave the land of familiar. I must go beyond what is comfortable for me. And so when we left ordinary, he was writing in his journal. And I invited you all to write in your dream journal or create a dream journal for yourself to remind you to stay awake to the truth of who you are, that you are the embodiment of divine love itself, to write down what you do best and what you love to do. What do you love to do? And to do that every day, just a little bit of it for a little bit of time, right? And to sacrifice something, to stop doing something that is not in alignment with your dream, right? And we're doing all of this in baby steps because those baby steps add up. They add up. And before you know it, we are leveling up. We are taking a big leap. I also invited you all to get a little praise dance on, to celebrate. We don't celebrate enough. We take a baby step. We celebrate that we took a baby step, right? We don't say to ourselves, oh, that was nothing. That little bit of nothing you did, right? No, we say, I did that. I did that. I went to bed earlier today, Rev Melissa. Yes, let's get a little praise dance on. Yes, to keep our energy lifted and that vibration of that song, right? You felt the energy of it. So let's pick up with ordinary. So ordinary is continuing his journey. He affirms that he is a dreamer and he leaves the comfort zone of the land of familiar and he heads to the borderland. And the borderland is someplace most nobodies ever go. Most nobodies, when they try to leave the comfort zone of the familiar, they become so uncomfortable that they turn around and they go back home to the land of the familiar. And so ordinary, as he walks further and further away from what is familiar, he becomes more and more anxious. He starts to slow down. And he starts to have really big doubts about his big dream that the dream giver gave to him. Can anyone relate to that? Doubt starts to creep in. Yes? What do we do? It's time to level up, right? When doubt creeps in, it's time to level up, level up, level up, level up, level up. It's time to level up. It's time to move forward. It's time to go for the dream. It's time to take the next step. But sometimes, y'all, and it could just be me, sometimes it's really hard to get through the doubt and keep moving forward. Sometimes the anxiety just takes hold and the doubt gets deeper and deeper and deeper. And then we start questioning ourselves like ordinary. Ordinary starts asking himself, what had he been thinking? He didn't have enough talent or skill to succeed at his dream. He thought even if he could do the dream, he was clearly unworthy. Whew. Feeling unworthy to even live the dream. Who am I to have such a big dream? Right? Our limiting beliefs start to rear up. And I've shared many times, most of our limiting beliefs are contained in one of these 5, and some have more than one. I am not enough. I am not safe. I am not worthy. I am not lovable. I am all alone. And I shared in SIP the other day that I discovered this it was like a sub limiting belief underneath the I am unworthy. It's all or nothing. Having a limiting belief of all or nothing finds you procrastinating, finds you doing nothing, because you are convincing yourself if you don't do everything, then what's the point? Right? So, Ordinary's anxiety grew into fear. So he's standing there and he's looking at the sign way out in the distance. And it read, "You are leaving the comfort zone of familiar and entering the borderland." And when he came to that sign, Ordinary said to himself, "I cannot go on. Let me turn back." He had hit an invisible wall of fear. And he just dropped his suitcase and he sat on it and he was like, I don't know what to do. And he starts considering more and more as he sat there, going back to the land of familiar, going back to what he knows, going back to what is comfortable. Things stop us from moving forward. Doubt, fear, anxieties are limiting beliefs. Somebody else's limiting beliefs. How about that? What stops you? If you want to share, you could put it in the comments. On Facebook, you could put it in the comments. What stops you from moving forward? What stops you from taking that leap? What stops you from leveling up? Yes, dotting the I's and crossing the T's. Yes, that's that all or nothing syndrome. That's that perfectionism. Outside approval stops us. Yes. So Ordinary tells the dream giver, not knowing where to step. Oh, say cool, yes. Details, feeling overwhelmed, yes, can stop us in our track. Fear of failure, yes. All of that can stop us. And what happens? The dream giver comes, or you might hear a little whisper in your ear, or you might be walking down the street and exactly what you were thinking about that you really wanted to do is on a billboard. Something happens to remind you. Something very synchronistic happens. God winking at you. And for Ordinary, the dream giver comes to him and he asks him, "Why are you stopping?" And Ordinary tells the dream giver, "I think I want to go back home. I'm not the right nobody to go after such a big dream." And the dream giver says, "Yes, you are. I made you to do this. I made you to do this." We are the self-realization of love itself. We were made to do whatever that is, whatever our dream is. Our theme is transformation, from formless into form. We are transformation itself, from the formless to the form as physical beings. So the dream giver says, "Yes, you can. Yes, you can do this, Ordinary, and I will be with you. I will help you." And Ordinary is looking back at the land of familiar. He says to himself, there was something wonderful about nothing happening. There we go. We start to convince ourselves. right? We start to convince ourselves, yeah, living that small life, it was okay. Like, what was so bad about that? What's so bad about it? It's been all right. I'm doing okay. I'm kind of sort of happy most of the time. It could be much worse. What do I have to be complaining about? And then we start saying this whole story to ourselves. Yes, it's safe. It's safe. Comfortable is safe. So what does Ordinary decide to do? Ordinary decides he's going to pick up his suitcase and he's going to take one step back in the direction of the familiar just to see what it felt like. And guess how it felt? He felt better. He felt better with each step that he took back to what was comfortable for him. And with every step back to familiar, the feeling of comfortable increased. But he quickly noticed he was also growing sad again. And he knew why. With each step he took towards familiar, he was leaving his big dream further behind. We can feel our feelings. Our feelings are valid. And we can still move forward. We can still take the leap. And so he hears the dream giver again, asking him, why are you going back? And Ordinary tells the dream giver that he's afraid it's too scary, too risky. And he tells him, if I'm supposed to do this big dream, then I'm sure I wouldn't feel so afraid. I love that one. My girls taught me the lesson of this. Nervous and excited at the same time is nerve-sighted. You can feel nervous and excited at the same time. He felt sadness moving away from his big dream. He felt some anxiety with every step that he took. And yet, he can still move forward. And guess what the dream giver tells him? Yes, you would feel afraid. You're about to do something you never did before. Yes, this is about right. Yep, that's the right feeling that you would be feeling. Afraid, nervous. Yes. And the dream giver said every nobody does. I bet when you sit down, Chris, to write your new books, I'm sure that there's some nervousness, some anxiety that is present. She's shaking her head, right? And yet she does it. She does it. And the proof is in the pudding. On Amazon.com, get your book, Chris Ferraro. Your difference is your strength. So the dream giver says, yes, you can. Take courage, Ordinary. And then the dream giver was gone. And Ordinary saw his choice clearly now. He could either keep his comfort or his dream. What will you do? Will you keep your comfort or go for your dream? Will you level up? Will you take that next step? Will you level up or maintain the status quo? Will you live the same day over and over and over again? Remember, the dream giver is no ordinary love. Our gifts are not ordinary. Our gifts, our purpose, our ori, they call to us and we answer yes. Otherwise, we would not be here. We said yes to our dream. We said yes to our gift. And so Ordinary decided if his fear wasn't going to leave, he would have to go forward in spite of it. He made a decision. So still trembling, he picked up his suitcase, he turned his back on that which was familiar, and he walked to the sign. And even though his fear kept growing, Ordinary shut his eyes and took a big step forward, right through the invisible wall of fear. Ordinary shut his eyes and took a big step forward, shutting our eyes, right? Shutting these physical eyes so that our spiritual eyes is what we are looking through. And then taking a big step, taking the action. What Ordinary is doing is utilizing the law of cause and effect intelligently. I want to share this from the Science of Mind text, and I'm going to put this up on the screen because I really would like you all to take this in. Can you see that? Okay. Ernest Holmes wrote in the Science of Mind text, the way in which our thoughts are to become manifest, we cannot always see, or should we be disturbed that we do not see the way, because effect is potential in cause. Cause and effect are really one. And if we have a given cause set in motion, the effect will have to equal the cause. One is the inside and the other the outside of the same thing. A certain specific intelligent idea in mind will produce a certain specific concrete manifestation equal to itself. There is one infinite thought stuff, one infinite creative power, but countless numbers of form which can change as the specific idea behind them changes. Ernest Holmes can be a little wordy. So let's just break this down a little bit, right? Ordinary shutting his eyes is going within to the level of cause. In the meditation, Chris guided us inward, within. Everything begins from within, right? At the level of cause. And he didn't just shut his eyes, right? And he took a big step forward. So that activity of taking a big step forward is going without to the level of effect, to set the law of cause and effect in motion. Many of us think about what we are going to do. We think, we analyze to paralysis, and we don't do it. We don't do it. We don't set the thought in motion. Imagine if Ordinary shut his eyes, he went within, he felt like, oh, I could do this. I could do this. And then that was it. He never moves. Where would he be? Still sitting there on his suitcase. We do that, right? We wake up energized. Oh, I'm going to do this today. I'm going to take this next thing. I'm going to live this next thing. And then we don't move forward. We don't activate the law. We don't activate the law. We put the law in motion by using it, by being engaged with it, right? So what will come into form from this step forward? The Lord tells us that there can be countless numbers of form. Countless numbers of form. What does that mean? There's infinite possibilities of what can come into fruition by us taking that next step. Countless numbers of form is what Ernest Holmes said. So moving from the land of familiar into the land of infinite possibilities is what we do when we are leveling up. That's how we level up. We move from the land of familiar to the land of infinite possibilities. We go within, and then we take action. On the other side of that single step, the exact one that ordinary did not think that he could take, he took it, and he found that he had broken through his comfort zone. And guess what? If he could do it once, he could do it again. And I would imagine that every one of us has an example of that. So remind yourself, bring that situation to mind to give you the courage to move forward because you've done it before. You can do it again. The law of cause and effect is always in effect. And we get to use it intelligently. He leveled up, and now the invisible wall of fear was behind him. We level up by stepping through the invisible wall of fear. Invisible, formless, invisible transformation beyond form. That is where the leveling up is occurring within us. Ernest Holmes also says the law of cause and effect is the way that we use the great law of life. Any particular effect may be changed by altering our thought. This we cannot do while we look only to that which is limited or already in form. We deal with the formless. We deal with what is not seen. That is where faith is, in the unseen. So it doesn't matter what the world is showing us about what can and cannot be done. Because we're about that transformation life. We are living in the unseen, knowing that it moves through us as part of the creative process that Chris talked about in the meditation. The seed, the soil, the plant, moving through us, activating us, supporting us, and leveling up. So we don't have to see every step, y'all. Just take that next one. When Chris said, take the step in the meditation, you took the step. You just take the step with trust and with courage and faith that the next step shall be revealed. We focus on where we are and where we are going. And we move. We move. And we trust that the next step will be revealed. But we have to level up. We have to level up through the formless. Seek ye first. Seek ye the formless first. Seek ye God first, love first, divine first. To level up. So in the words of Sierra, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, level up, level up, level up, level up, level up. It's time, y'all. It's time. We level up by committing to our dream. We level up by staying prayed up. We level up with courage. And believe me, courage is not the absence of fear. It's not the absence of fear. So if you're waiting for fear to go away, courage. That is the demonstration. Level up by making a decision and taking one step forward. Level up by moving from the land of the familiar to the land of infinite possibilities. And we level up using the law of cause and effect, formless to form, as within, so without, as above, so below. And we level up with our quality. You remember your quality? I bet y'all, some of y'all forgot. The quality that you chose in January to embody and express more fully. Remember that? You level up with your quality, right? It's time to level up. Level up, level up, level up, level up, level up. All right, y'all. So I want to ground this for us in something that I read in 365 Days of Spiritual Living by Ernest Holmes and Raymond Charles Barker. And if you have it, it's from the day December 1st, if you want to reference it later. So I just invite you to go within. Just take a breath. And this is called Before Me is a Clear Road, and I Proceed. The forward look is the Godward look. My heaven will never be unless I make it out of the material of my own thinking. Today, I set my sights on him who fashions me in his image and after his likeness. I stand at the door of the abundant life and I knock. All that I seek opens to me and beckons me to life's fullness. I enter into my divine heritage and walk with the great and the true. My pathway is filled with ease. I am thinking to take my goal. All of mine urges me on, and all power is my strength to move. Idea after idea comes to my consciousness in right sequence at exactly the right moment. I am inspired to right action in every detail. I walk forward in ease. There are no obstructions in my pathway of mind. The mistakes of yesterday are behind, and the future beckons with promise. God is where I am, and God will always be with me. The way is clear, and I never let doubt create detours. The way is clear, and I never let doubt create detours. I handle each doubt as it appears and declare it to be nothing. The way is straight. I walk in peace to my selected good. I am pushed from behind by the Spirit, even as I am led forward by true guidance. I walk in faith. My decision to accept my greater freedom is a mighty power within me. It leads me, directs me, and comforts me when doubt assails. I am undaunted by the problems I seem to face. Ahead of me is the royal road to good living, based on spirit and motivated by love. This is the day of progress. This is the day of demonstration. I walk in the dream of accomplishment, and my dream becomes a fact. Let's level up, level up, level up, level up, level up. It's time, y'all. It's time.